In terms of skill sets, here's the interesting thing. So I just take my story with a grain of salt. I did economics, which was basic level math. I didn't take anything beyond, BC Calc, and did political theory in government. And so in terms of preparation, I would say what you need is you need to have some sort of math background in some degree. I mean, it doesn't have to be linear algebra, and you don't have to be a mathematics master's, but you have to show that you can do math. Because yes, we do work with numbers all the time, every day. So you have to be comfortable with that. And I would say, in terms of actually moving into private equity, very few private equity firms hire out of undergrad. And so in order to actually go and get a job in private equity, you have to have something in between. And so usually that is some sort of experience that involves numbers again, financial experience where you have been exposed to companies' financials. You have been, so you know what a balance sheet is, you know what a cash flow statement is, you know what an income statement is, you know how to model. Those are skills that you need to learn before you can, I would say, before you can really go to a private equity firm and have a meaningful experience. Otherwise, I mean, trust me, at Disney, you spend the first 12 months just figuring out how the lights turn on. I mean that in a very generic sense, but you kind of walk around, you don't really know what's going on. You think you have a lot more impact than you actually do because you're just out of college and you're so smart. Maybe I just thought that. But I would say, so in terms of background, I would say if your university does offer business courses, which this one does, which is fantastic, mine did not, I would say that take advantage of that. I'm not saying you have to be necessarily 100% a business major unless you need that in order to get an appropriate finance job out of college. If it's going to be very, very difficult to do that and you can only go work at croutons, it's probably going to be pretty hard to get a private equity job after croutons, unless you built it up from nothing. And really have made a lot of croutons.
I'll push two other words of advice. I'd say just it helps to have a true curiosity for the job and learn about it. So the Wall Street Journal is a great publication. It's actually you can learn as much reading the Wall Street Journal every day as you can, and I did this going to Harvard Business School. It's not it's not that different, to be honest with you. There's a lot of we study cases in business school, and the Wall Street Journal publishes articles. They're basically the same thing. You just don't get all the sort of analysis. If you read the Wall Street Journal every day, or at least frequently enough, you'll either be interested or you won't. And if you're interested, you'll come out of it with a lot of good lessons learned, and also just some really topical stuff to talk about. So that's just something I think practically you can do to